Hello, welcome to my art journal. And I went ahead and did a couple pages, some of about my boys and some other things just because I couldn't wait to actually film. But I had an inspirational thought from a Bible verse that I wanted to journal about. And so before I got to doing my third son's page, I wanted to go ahead and do this. So I'm using some Martha Stewart white gesso, and I'm very roughly putting it over this page. It's kind of like the table of contents and about the author and all that kind of boring stuff. But I'm letting it peek through a little bit, especially on the contents, because I think that's kind of neat. So I don't want to wait for it to dry. I'm just using the hair dryer. There's lots of texture. I used a really yucky sponge. Well, it's a new sponge, but yucky as in quality, from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to throw it out after this, but I like the texture. So I have these old stamps. I don't even know how old they are. They're from a brand called Technique Tuesday, and I'm spelling out the word justice. It's a Bible verse talking about what the Lord requires of us, doing justice, loving mercy, and walking humbly with Him. And it's just a thought I've really been pondering, and I wanted to art journal. So I have these letters. I've barely used them. I got them like, I don't remember, some lot or stash or something. And they're so old that some of the letters break as I pull them off. So I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to keep this set. They're like old, and I barely even used them. That U is broken. I'm trying to stick it back together. So I used it to spell justice, and I'm going to spell mercy and humbly on the same page, and I'm going to journal about it. I am very new to art journaling, and I've been watching a lot of videos, and I'm not trying to say in this video in any way that I actually know what I'm doing, because I don't. I'm just playing with different techniques, either ones I've thought of or ones that I have seen. And so I'm not trying to tell you how to art journal. I'm just kind of showing you my learning process as I go along. One thing, these pages in this vintage gardening book, they're not watercolor pages. Even with gesso on them, they kind of buckle up when you put water and stuff on them, but that's okay. I don't really mind, and I think it adds texture and character. So I'm getting this all stamped out. I'm just using black ink for the stamping, and it almost looks like brush lettering or handwriting. And putting them all back, they're falling apart. It's terrible. Little pieces, but it worked out okay. So I've grabbed a couple other stamps that I'll be pulling out here soon that I don't even remember where they're from because I cut them out. Okay, so I decided to play with some Distress Oxides, and I'm just using this shiny scrap piece from a jewelry store to kind of brush on, I think, vintage photo. Wow, I did all that really fast. I guess I really sped it up and didn't realize how much the clip was sped up. Oh no, I remember what happened. I was still filming, and I wasn't filming, and I was still journaling, and I didn't realize it. So all I did was just put a couple different colors of Distress Oxide on there, and now I'm using a Tim Holtz Crackle stencil and a little bit of gold ink you can't really see it in the video, I don't think, but it adds a little bit of a crackle in the background. And I'm just taking a little bit of a, I think this is a plum color, of a pencil, and just kind of scribbling a little bit, adding a little bit of edging to my letters. I don't know why. I've just seen other people do it, and I was playing around with it. Adds a little bit of dimension and depth, I think. And now I'm adding some glimmer mist, like in an orange color, and it's like a creamsicle or something like that. And it doesn't show up too well on the video, but you can see it in real life. And then some cracked pistachio distress stain, and I'm really just playing around with letting the color, pushing the color up and down with the air on the, I can't talk, guys, whatever that is, hair dryer, and just adds a really nice green to it. And then I have these stamps. I don't even know where they're from. I got them in some stash somewhere, and I don't even have the original packaging or anything, but there's some flower stamps. So I'm putting some black flowers in a couple places just to, I don't know, I just liked how they went together. And here's some mini ones, and I'm stamping a couple black mini flowers around. And oh no, I know what I did. I sprayed the big one with a little bit of water, and then stamped afterwards too, to kind of add a watercolor effect. And so here's a few little flowers that I'm stamping around. I kind of wish I covered more of the white on the gesso. I was trying to leave some of it, but it looks really white. So that's one thing that I can definitely learn. So now I'm adding some of my own handwriting. Do justice, love mercy, walk humbly. And I'm just underlining and marking and I don't know, playing. So now I'm going to journal. Well, first I'm just sort of edging the page with a little bit of the pencil. And then I'm going to journal about my thoughts and what I was thinking while about the verse and what it meant to me in my life and how I want to incorporate it into my daily life. And I really liked this because I think I would have just totally forgotten this thought if I hadn't taken the time. And I could jot it down on a piece of paper somewhere, but it just doesn't mean as much to me anyway. It just doesn't mean as much. And so I'm really trying to art journal some of these thoughts. I don't have enough time in the day to art journal every profound thought. It makes it sound like I have so many profound thoughts. I don't, but every thought that means something to me, I don't have time to do that. But if I have some time and I've had something in my mind, then, I'll take a little bit of time. And now I have a black marker and I'm adding a couple little dots around the flowers to add just a little bit more. And I realize I just left too much white space, and so I'm back with my pencil and I'm just completing the journaling part so I can fill out the whole gesso section. And I do like how it came out. I really see how I have a lot of improvement to make, and I'm excited to learn more and more and to share it with you and to see how far I come this year in art journaling.